Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you all are really doing well. So now that Women's Day is just around the corner on March 8th, I thought it would be very apt that I let you know about a recent audiobook that I've just listened to on Storytel, which is again easily my favorite audiobook app ever, and I'm sure you'll find your favorite books there as well because there's a huge variety you can check out. So yeah. So Lift As You Climb, Women in the Art of Ambition by Viv Groskop was definitely such an amazing and an insightful book that I listened to recently. And since it is an audiobook, let me first talk to you about the narrator, who is in fact the author herself. Now I think when the author is a narrator as well, the words, the meanings are conveyed much more better, I think, to the listener, because the author knows what she wants to convey generally, and so when she says it out loud in the audiobook, I think it has an extremely wonderful effect, and that is why this book really touched me the way it did. And before we even get on with the video, I want to let you know that you should definitely check it out. You can definitely check it out on Storytel because like I said, Women's Day is just around the corner, and this book and the topic that it discusses and goes over is so relevant today in today's world, which is increasingly transporting itself onto online realm. I think it is much more important today to read this book. This book has definitely aged really well. So yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't already. So the word ambition, for the longest times, we human, and especially women, have always looked at it as if it's a bad word, as if having ambition it means that you are aggressive, you step on others to go ahead in life. It means you're a bad person, selfish. It has had always a negative connotations. And this is also, I always thought about this. This is probably the reason why people never wanted to be in Slytherin, because the characteristics of being in Slytherin was where being cunning and ambitious and all of that. But it does not have to be a bad thing. It is not bad being ambitious, and especially we as women need to change that thought. So I really loved how encouraging the author / narrator was in the way she spoke, and it was really like as if her and we were on this one-on-one session, and she was giving me all of this knowledge, and this knowledge, what knowledge, let me tell you, because when it comes to self-help or motivational books, we always think that it's boring, it's just theory. But this book was definitely not just that. It was a bit of theory, yes, but it was also a lot of anecdotes, practical guides, which I think made it much more interesting and much more, easier for us to implement in our actual lives. So like I said, Lift As You Climb really emphasized on the need for women to support each other, on sisterhood, and how we need to implement it increasingly now in this world. And I think the book was also very realistic in talking about how not all women do this, just how not all men are misogynistic or sexist, and not all men look down on their women colleagues and everything like that. It is a really realistic and contemporary work that I think is very relevant to us today, like I said, in this workforce where we all are interacting over online and all of that. Lastly, I think that this was not just a book only on feminism, but it was also such an important important work on contemporary womanism as well. So I think you should all definitely check it out. Like I said, Women's Day is just around the corner, and I think this is a book that you can gift yourself and gift the women in your life, because I think this will really inspire them and help them be better versions of themselves and help women as a whole, womanhood. I love listening to this audiobook, and I think you should definitely check it out as well. Thanks a lot to Storytel for giving me this opportunity. So a few words about Storytel as well. As you all probably already know, Storytel is a monthly subscription-based app where you can listen to audiobooks. Right now, I think it has million and growing users, and I think it's definitely worth it. That says a lot about its terms and conditions and everything like that, because let me tell you, I've used another audiobook app, I'm sure you know which one, and in other audiobook apps, the thing is you have to pay for the subscription and then you have to buy the audiobooks individually, but it's not so in Storytel, and that is the one thing that is really making sure that this app is the one that people support and choose.